Occasional arguments and fighting in relationships are healthy. Occasional. I don't believe in coming out. I don't believe that someone has to come out unless you want to. I don't care who you're sleeping with. I don't care. Come out and tell me that you beat drug addiction. I don't know. Come out and tell me you got a check for me. In-N-Out fries are garbage. In-N-Out ain't that good. Kpop, y'all can leave it where it came from. It's definitely okay to self-therapize yourself. Wait, hold on, let me explain. This one I will explain. Hey! We are the It's been about a week or so since I've been up here, but it was a good week. You know, I took some time off to focus on some other stuff that I'm juggling, you know. Mental health. This whole week, people have been spewing out their opinions about different stuff from a certain event that happened a couple of weeks ago, and I'm learning a lot. Every time something like this happens that kind of, you know, pulls people's opinions out, I just watch and I look and I just take notes. I don't really respond. I don't really judge. I don't do anything. I learn different perspectives, even perspectives that I already knew that I disagree with and still do. But it's interesting to watch and to look at. I tried to shoot this video a couple days ago while making tacos, and it was just a mess. I mean, say calling myself doing a little cooking show. I almost burned some stuff down, so I was like, let me just stop and let me just sit myself down somewhere. So today, I just want to throw some random unpopular opinions that I have. You may share, and I'm gonna do it without explaining, you know, a lot of my reasoning behind it, because why? We don't really explain ourselves over here unless it's warranted. This kind of will let us get to know one another a little bit better, I feel like. If you disagree with some things, let me know, you know, respectfully. And if you do agree with some, let me know, respectfully. So without further pausation, let's go ahead and get into these random unpopular opinions that I have. Unpopular opinion number one. Texas ain't that bad, okay? I'm from the South. I know I live in LA where Texas and the South gets a bad rap. But Texas ain't that bad, no. And I'm gonna tell you why. There is a certain Southern charm about the South that, although it has its ways, it has its history, okay? People are warmer. There's a Southern hospitality. When you smile at people, they smile back. When somebody opens the door for you, they say thank you. A lot of the ways that we show love in the South isn't necessarily with words or like proclamations. It's definitely like an individual, interpersonal type of thing, act of service. A lot of people, you know, I'm not gonna apologize to you, but let me cook for you. Let me fry you up some chicken to tell you that I'm sorry. Although Texas has had some problematic issues and still is, it's not that bad of a place, the South in general. I can't speak for other parts. I don't know too much about Alabama, Georgia, Mississippi, you know, the ones that hold the legacy. But in the South, you also kind of get what you give. And yes, there's gonna be people, yes, there's gonna be areas in the South that still hold on to those old ways of thinking, and we just stay away from them. If our paths just so happen to cross.
Here I go. What the hell are you doing? That ain't nowhere to board a train, you damn stupid
Well, you might could have said nincompoop.
We ain't no nincompoop.
With that being said, moving right along into my next unpopular opinion, I don't believe that people should have agency over anybody else's body. I don't believe in that. When it comes to rules and regulations over other people's body, I don't think there has to be protection there. This stuff, our blood, organs, bones, that's ours. No one should police that. What if somebody was like, look, when you turn 17, you have to donate a kidney. It's just that it is what it is. But I don't want to give a kidney. Everybody gives a kidney. Are you saying you don't want to be a part of society?
Give me your kidney.
Like, I don't think you should do that. What goes into my body, what comes out of my body, I need to have immediate 100% control over that factor. Peanut butter ain't nothing without jelly. I'm not a fan of peanut butter. Peanut butter is disgusting. Peanut butter and bananas?
And you motherfuckers need Jesus. Cover your ears, baby.
The only reason peanut butter is anything is because of jelly. Specifically strawberry jelly. I don't think Jennifer Hudson is that great of a singer. I'm sorry. I don't think Jennifer Hudson sounds good most of the time. I can't get with all the screaming most of the time. Can't do it. This next opinion I don't think is super unpopular. I think it's kind of growing popularity, but I'm gonna go ahead and say it. The public school system does an awful job of educating and preparing our children for the real world. Yep. I think the two most important aspects of education should be number one, focused on who you are as an individual and try to cultivate whatever skills that you have as a person and things that you would like to do, instead of making a system that just kind of builds people to be docile workers. That's it. I think first grade through like 7th grade should be cultivating and finding the skills that you like, finding your interests while still being a child. Maybe that's private school. Is that what it is? Maybe it's, okay, so we all just broke, so we can't afford. Okay. Insecure was one of the best TV shows in the last 5 years. I'm not fighting me. Here's one. Just because you forgive someone does not mean that you have to continue a relationship with them. People often confuse forgiveness with, oh, I gotta let them back into my life. No, you don't, baby. Baby, forgiveness is for you. Forgiveness is for you not to be hateful, angry, and to let go of whatever hurt that you receive from them and to release them from that bond of anger. Now, yes, some forgiveness, you can continue on relationships, and I don't discourage that. I encourage you to be wise, and I encourage you to look at the fact that saying that just because you forgive somebody means that you have to continue a relationship with them, and that's false. I can forgive you, let you be at peace, let myself be at peace, but also say, nah, we can't walk life together, because if you do what you did again, I'm gonna hurt you. I may get some backlash from this one from, other people, but it's definitely okay to self-therapize yourself. Wait, hold on, let me explain. This one I will explain. To self-therapize yourself is something that I feel is the basis before you actually go into therapy. Because I still think actual traditional therapy is good and needed for everybody, because to open up and talk to someone that's outside of yourself where you can get an outsider's perspectives is really what therapy is about. It's to release, it's to learn, it's to grow, it's to cry, sometimes people need a safe space to talk to someone to get this stuff out. That's therapy. If you are somebody who is willing to begin to do the work of number one being 1,000, not 100%, because 100 gets thrown around too loosely. So I'm gonna add a 0. If you're someone who can be 1,000% honest with yourself, that means someone who can step outside of who they are and look at their life as an objective viewer, you can definitely begin the process of self-therapy. Again, I'm not saying that regular therapy is, not needed, because I think it is very necessary, but sometimes people can't afford it, or sometimes people don't trust other people. These are real fears, you know what I'm saying? So try with yourself. But if you find yourself agreeing with yourself and making excuses for yourself, maybe self-therapy isn't for you. Not everybody has that skill. And that's okay. You have to be willing to look at the dirty and to accept that dirty. And I say this because only you truly know where the issues are and how to fix them. And a therapist is there to help guide you through that path if you can't do that on your own. But if you're somebody who is very self-aware and who is very honest with themselves, the key word is with yourself. Lie to the world. I hope you don't, but just don't lie to yourself, because then that's where a lot of things can take form. I still think anime is odd. I'm sorry. I've grown up with anime. I have plenty of friends of all different ethnicities, backgrounds who watch anime, and they have tried over the years to get me into it. And I've watched I've watched some shows, but maybe it's not for me. But it's just, I don't want to call it lame and weird, but it's just not for me. Having large circles does not mean you're fake. It can. It can. Now, having a large circle and having close, intimate friends that you really consider your circle are two totally different things. Knowing a lot of people, being recognized at the same point isn't necessarily a bad thing. It can get to a bad thing. Man, no new friends. A lot of the times, the people in those larger circles, they're not your intimate group. And they see somebody who is open to the world, charismatic, loving, and they don't have that. And so they feel some type of way. They don't really have that because they don't know how to move through the world, or maybe they've been jarred or hurt by people, which I get. I personally have a very, 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 very small knit of individuals that I consider like close and personal, but I have larger circles too. But at the end of the day, I'm a person who loves solo activity. I'm somebody who, you know, drive up to the beach and chill on the beach by my damn self. I'm somebody who will go to the movies by his damn self. I am that person who, I am my own circle. I do know a lot of people. I love a lot of people. And there's levels to this.
You don't tip. What do you mean you don't tip?
They don't believe in it.
Shut up. What do you mean you don't believe in it? Come on, you. Cough up a bucket, cheap bastard.
If you're someone who doesn't believe in tipping when you go out to eat, which is totally fine, I think you should tell your server and or host that before you sit down. Matter of fact, I've actually evolved over this issue with tipping. I honestly believe that tipping should be gone away with. I think that tipping has gotten out of control, and this is someone who, you know, has plenty of serving background, okay? And this is why. I mean, I think we should do away with tipping and just add service charges. I think we should add a service charge because one of the biggest arguments with people who don't like the tip is,
it's not my job to pay the server.
Yes, it is your job. When you walk in and you spend your money, you are paying for the restaurant, the server, all these things. That's how a business pays their employees from the money that they get from their customers. So yes, it is your job. Or if you don't want to pay for a service charge, then order your food to go. That way, you know, if the service is outstanding or better than what you expected, then you can leave a little tip, a $5 tip. But I think a 20% service charge should be added to every dining experience. I would happily pay that. It takes away the judgment. It takes away from biases, from attitudes. Like if a server knows that they're about to get a table, no matter what that table appears to look like, I'm not gonna go into stereotypical table. If you know, you know. It removes the pressure of feeling like you're not gonna get tipped, that you're not gonna make your money, because to be honest, a server, they're there to make their money, to make a living at the end of the day. No one chooses to volunteer to serve your needy, greedy behind. So with the service charge, it automatically just kind of deletes the fact of this hierarchy type of thing. Like, no, like you're here to have a dining experience. I wanna make sure that you have the best dining experience and you're gonna pay for that dining experience. And if you really like that dining experience, then you can add a $2 tip or a $5 tip on top of that 20% if you want to. And no quarrels if you do not. If you do choose not to, go ahead, be blessed. When you don't tip your server, that server usually has to pay a small percentage to the restaurant regardless. So yes, some servers have to come out of their pockets to pay for you to eat if you do not tip. I know it's not your fault. You ain't got nothing to do with you. I'm well aware. 20% service charge. Some people may not be able to pronounce gratuity, but if you explain it to them, you print it on the menu, say, hey, this meal will come with a 20% service charge of whatever you order. As someone who has been in that industry, I've seen both sides, and working at a place that has a service charge on it as one who doesn't is a world of difference.
Case closed, nasty.
If you have a child, that child is your responsibility until the day you die, or the day it dies, or if you give off lawful parenthood to someone else. But if you have a child, you are responsible for that child. Point blank, period. I think if people had that kind of mentality over parenthood, people would stop having kids that they didn't want. And this is not to police anybody's body whatsoever. But I think bringing a life into the world is a very serious thing. I think having kids is a lifelong responsibility and choice. And I know although our society is like, you have kids, you ship them out at 18 and then you're done with them, which is true to a certain extent. And yes, at some point the child needs to go out there on their own. But I don't think the responsibility of a parent ends at 18. What's up, y'all? This is Jacoby from the editing studio. I just want to hop in and expand on one little topic. We would hope that the roles would eventually turn with the responsibility of the child taking care of the parent with age, but sometimes that doesn't happen. And so I think it's very important to focus on like what we can control in situations, i.e. having kids in ideal situations, of course, and then what those kids actually turn out to be. What can you control? Think about it. Which pretty much leads me to say that it's a great awakening moment to kind of get to the place where we can really decide to focus on what we can control in life and what we can't control. Anyways, enjoy the rest of the video. Kpop. Y'all can leave it where it came from. In-N-Out fries are garbage. In-N-Out ain't that good. I come from the land of Whataburger, Brahms. I also forgot to say Fuddruckers. If you know, you know, baby. I just in and out. I don't understand the hype. The burger is average to small. The fries, unless you put that little animal stuff on there, which is, they taste like little styrofoam cups. Like, it's just in and out. In-N-Out is good. The burger itself is good. I've grown to say that I will actually go out to seek In-N-Out by myself. I've done it a few times, but I normally only eat In-N-Out if I'm with a group of people who want it, because occasional arguments and fighting in relationships are healthy. Occasional. And hear me out, I will explain a little bit on this. It's not for the toxic reason of keeping the passion alive or making someone care for you. No, it's a life skill to debate in a low tone. I think an occasional fight is okay. Now, if you're fighting every day, 4 times a week even, that's a bit excessive. But couples who say, oh, we never fight or argue, okay. But when somebody says that we don't argue, we don't fight, what that tells me is that somebody is A, living a lie and passive, or somebody somewhere ain't being true to themselves. Whenever I hear a couple say, oh, we never fight, we don't argue.
We don't do that stuff.
Somebody lying. Somebody's either lying, being real passive, or they're just putting stuff away in a trunk to explode later. Don't let stuff build up. What's wrong with y'all now? So you got high blood pressure now. Another unpopular opinion I have is not everybody owes you their story. And I'm only gonna dive just a little bit on that. Unless you're like in a, romantic marriage with them, maybe that's one thing. But besides that, people have to earn the right to your story. I'm all for being an open book. I'm an open book. Once you get that lock and key, our stories are sacred. Okay, our truth is sacred. And don't ever make anybody feel like you need to spew out everything. Let them earn it, okay? Let them earn that trust, and you let go of what you want to let go in time. Or maybe you close up what you want to let go. A lot of times people just want to know your story to be nosy. I actually had a very good friend tell me that one time when we were really young. It was something that I was building up to tell them at the time, and we were really young. And I remember it took me weeks to do it, and when I finally did it, they were just like,
oh, okay. Well, I mean, I don't really have anything to say besides I just wanted to know, but be blessed.
And I was hurt. I was hurt and shocked. But I learned a lesson. I learned it from that person's truth. They wasn't trying to help me or to even hear me. They just wanted to know. They were nosy. Protect your peace. Protect your story. In the famous words of one of the most prolific psychologists and relationship advice builders, is BRENE BROWN.
My whole mantra is, you share with people who've earned the right to hear your story. You have to think long and hard about who has earned the right to hear the story and with whom am I in a relationship that can bear the weight of the story. Wow.
You gotta let people earn you. Don't be just giving it away. You give it away, people can do what they want with it. That's on you. Although I believe that one's happiness is their own responsibility. If you get into a relationship with somebody and you choose to be in a romantic relationship with somebody, even a friendship, I think it is your responsibility to learn how that person desires to be loved and how they receive love. You my boo, I'm your boo. I'm going to learn the ways that you desire to be loved because I'm choosing to walk into this relationship with you. So whether or not your love language is physical touch, words of affirmation, I don't know, maybe you like your belly rubbed, because I like you and I love you, I'm going to try to do the things that make you happy and find joy out of them. If I don't find joy out of them and I don't want to do it, then I should not be in that relationship. And that's okay too. And I'm not saying you need to do everything. I'm not saying like buy them a Louis bag, that's how they feel loved and you can't afford it. That's a whole different conversation. I'm not talking about material things. I'm talking about loving them, the person. I don't believe in coming out. I don't believe that someone has to come out in regards to their sexuality, unless you want to. I don't care who you're sleeping with. I don't care what gender you like, If you're trying to come out for other people's sake, why? Come out and tell me that you beat drug addiction. Come out and tell me that you are doing your healing journey. I don't know. Come out and tell me you got a check for me with 4 to 5 zeros. But I don't need you to come out and tell me that you're gay, pansexual. I think the heart behind the whole coming out movement was good, but now that we're in 2022, if you're somebody who feels pressure that you need to do it, I'm telling you that you don't have to do it. Just show up with a boo. They gonna know. Just live your life. Just live your life. I don't believe in making other people feel comfortable about who you are. Unless I'm trying to get there with you, I don't need to know who you're trying to get there with. A college degree does not mean that you're smarter or superior than anybody else. Being black or any ethnicity and saying that you don't date the people in that same ethnicity is weird, problematic to me. You're strange. And I'm not gonna tell you why. I don't think I need to tell you why. I just want you to ask yourself why. Why don't you find the people that look like you and your family attractive? What is that about? Another unpopular opinion, I like when the person I'm dating is just a little bit ugly. I can't be with nobody who's super beautiful or fine because why you look that good? I'm a little bit ugly too, so I can't be 40% ugly, 60% fine, dating somebody 80% fine and 20% ugly. Treating your child like a little adult without giving them adult burdens and problems, raising them as an individual and someone who has common sense and who has the sense to do good things is a superpower that not many of us have. When you can't afford Christmas presents, don't blame it on Santa. Baby, mom and daddy is broke. Okay, Christmas is gonna be real tight this year, but we're gonna have each other. Sorry, baby, you can't go over there because Timmy's mama don't like to wash her hands when she cooks. Talk to your kids. Being a Christian does not automatically make you superior in morals and the way of life. If you are under the age of 30 years old, you are not a 90s kid. Stop saying it, because no. Michael Jackson was not that good of a singer after the age of 11. Not having children is okay. Having children is also okay. Women weren't here just to have babies. Don't let nobody shame you into saying that you don't want kids. And for this last unpopular opinion, I kind of want to get real up close and personal. Okay, I want to walk and talk with this one. Boundaries. When you get ready to set boundaries for yourself, healthy boundaries for yourself and the people that you love and the people that are in your life, you will more times than not be seen as an once those boundaries start to take place. It's very difficult to be seen as a nice, good person once you start to set those boundaries to people who don't respect those boundaries. Nonetheless, do not be afraid to do so, but you can't be afraid to set those boundaries because you know who you are and you know what's right. But the minute you start setting up placements that people are used to crossing and not getting their way, you're gonna be an you're gonna be all these things, and you have to be able to be okay with that because the healthy boundary will serve you way more than the individuals who can't respect those boundaries. Thank you guys for joining me for this video. Leave a comment down below. What do you guys think about some of my unpopular opinions? I didn't explain some stuff on purpose. If you want me to go in depth, let me know down below. I hope you guys have a wonderful rest of the week, and I will have a video coming up for you hopefully by this weekend as well. Be blessed. Peace.